Skipping through the enters.
Hey there, everybody. Dave's pounding a beer. Whoa, what a way to start the show. Oh, man.
Just wanted to get things rolling just right off the bat.
Dude, that was awesome, man. You really went for it there. Hey, before we get started, hey, everyone, welcome back to Chance and Penner Live. New week.
Welcome, guys.
New fun to be had.
We got some Cornwells listening out there right here.
Cornwells. Yeah, I hope.
Thanks for being there, guys.
Hey, Cornwells, wherever you're at in the drive home, I hope that you're coming back richer and not poorer from Las Vegas. So a little inside.
As my dad says, Wild Bill, he's called in Vegas. You asked him, and you ask him how well he does, and he says Caesar was very kind to me, or he says, I don't know what his other one is, but it's always to do with Caesar.
The second one is just Caesar can go to hell.
It's all Caesar the tyrant.
I think but Dave's dad in Vegas is my favorite human that I've ever met through the course of my life. It's a good time.
You never know what you're gonna get. It's not the same guy that's at home, that's for sure. There's different entities.
But that's the way. I mean, that's what the mob wanted for Vegas. You know what I mean? They wanted you to go out in the middle of the desert, be anonymous, and just gamble. And that's the fun part. But so we're back. It's Barbenheimer week. We were just talking about two big movies coming out, which is kind of weird because the state of the film and TV industry right now seems very desolate. And it's kind of wild that we've got, I don't know, arguably two of the most anticipated movies to come out this week. Dave, are you gonna Barbenheimer it up this weekend?
I'm currently I only have tickets for Barbie currently. I'm slightly over Nolan at the moment. With the last two entries, I wasn't stoked about, but I'm gonna see it. And so as of right now, I'm Team Barbie. And I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm not ashamed to be Team Barbie, dude.
I was talking to Vince before this, and Barbie reminds me of like in the early 90s how they had like the what's the word for it? But they had like the classic TV show parody movies. You had the Brady Bunch, you had the Beverly Hillbillies, Little Rascals. It was the 90s retro sitcom movie boom parody. I reversed that, but you know what I'm saying with that. It reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like I think we were just saying behind the call, like, or before we started here, that like how like cool the Barbie marketing has been. I think it's like so key. Like even when that first trailer dropped, I thought it was awesome, and it's crazy to think that Amy Schumer was originally cast as Barbie, and like what a different movie that would have been.
Well, probably a lot of the ideas in her version of the movie would have been stolen from other movies, so it's probably best that she didn't do it. But yeah, I mean, I was just saying too, whoever is doing the marketing for Barbie really deserves whatever they're getting paid. Hopefully it's a lot of money. I don't know the current state of things, but I'm almost teeter on the edge of like, I'm over the Barbie marketing now. I'm glad the movie's coming out because every time I open my computer or my phone, I'm met with Barbenheimer. Is that what they were going with on that? But genius marketing and the way that they've kind of turned it around and made the event of going to see both movies. That's brilliant. And honestly, they should have been doing that all along.
I think it fell into their laps. They didn't plan on that. I think it was because of something you were saying. It's because it's something Tom Cruise said, right? Where he was like saying he was going to see both or something.
Yeah. So Tom Cruise is kind of the Boy Scout of the film industry. You know, it's like if you want people to get excited about movies, either you put a Tom Cruise movie out or you put him out talking about movies, which I find both adorable and annoying, which is most of life. But yeah, he came out, him and I think Chris McQuarrie, I think that's the director of Top Gun. It's like his dude. They made a big deal because they were all kind of coming out at the same time. So he was like, I'm going to go see Barbie and I'm going to go see Oppenheimer in the same day. And you guys should go see Mission Impossible. It was like real smooth the way he did it. But there's this great video that I saw of Tom Cruise has been doing like promotional stuff where he shows up at movie theaters for screenings of Mission Impossible. And there's this great video of him like backstage, or I don't know, it was at a movie theater. It probably wasn't backstage. It was probably like the break room, but he's sitting there and he's just eating popcorn and he's going, popcorn and movies, and just staring at the camera awkwardly. It was like, I don't know. It was so weird. It was endearing, to
That's the most Tom Cruise thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that
great.
or jumping out. Isn't it funny? Like either it's eating popcorn and talking about movies, or jumping out of an airplane with no parachute or some crazy shit that everybody else is like,
I saw
whoa.
all the crazy like behind the scenes stuff with that, and like I can't. It's like Tom Cruise at this point is one of those guys that like I don't necessarily like want to like a lot, but it's like still hard to not like him. He's like he's still a good actor.
Well, dude, he
I gotta
like
respect it, dude.
the one thing, I mean, there's Tom Cruise on the screen and then Tom Cruise in real life. Who knows how he really is in real life, but he seems to genuinely care about movies and his movies. And yeah, the behind the scenes stuff on because they also, that was really smart. They released like that 15-minute behind the scenes featurette a few months ago about the big stunt in this movie. And I got to tell you, after seeing The Flash, after seeing Dial of Destiny to a certain degree, the practical stuff and the willingness to risk his life, or the perceived notion that he's risking his life, I appreciate, and I think it translates well. But it's
Yeah,
also, I also love to. He's also easy to make fun of. But all right, cool. So maybe we'll come back if
I am stoked about Mission Impossible too. I think
yeah,
did you see it?
I did see it.
Or
I
what is
saw,
it? Yeah, okay. I haven't seen it yet. I'm stoked about it though, because I especially really like the last three. Or I guess the
yeah,
last two have been like really good, I thought.
yeah. This
It's pretty
one's
much the same team, so
yeah. I mean, this one is I will say this one's on par, maybe a smidge under Fallout, and that's not like a critique or saying it's bad at all. It's just Fallout was kind of an amazing movie, and this one, it's a two-parter, but it's a we were talking a little bit about Across the Spider-Verse. We were a little bit bummed that it ended on a cliffhanger because it didn't feel like it was a complete movie. And this one, like, they made a point of making it a complete movie while still, like, giving some to the next part and adding to intrigue. It's a little bit different of a Mission Impossible movie in terms of and I don't want to give anything away because definitely go see it in the theater, but it's a little bit different in terms of who the villain is in this movie. It's kind of unlike anything we've seen in a Mission Impossible movie. So yeah, dug it. It was funny. My mom came to town. She moved to Boise a few months ago, so she came back into town. And she was like, "Oh man, I'm really bummed that I didn't come back during when Mission Impossible was coming out, because it's kind of our thing. We go see all the Tom Cruise movies." And I randomly looked, and there was like a Walmart, I guess, had a bunch of special screenings, and because I'm in the AMC A list, I got like access to go, so I got to take my mom. So that was a fun experience. Just me and my mom.
dude, your
Tom Cruise.
mom's like trying so hard to recruit you to move out there, dude. Like she's been
Yeah,
talking to like every
yeah,
she
yeah.
was at our the last event we did was like our baby shower that my mom threw, and she was over there, and like she was going around to like all my friends trying to like all our friends trying to recruit, being like, "Hey, you guys should really check out Boise." Trying to get Eli out there and giving us all the like bullet points of like what's great with Boise and all this stuff.
She definitely wants me to move out there, but I think that she wants everybody in Southern California to move. Well, maybe not everybody, but she wants all her friends and people close to her. Because I really feel like my mom, and it's not just my mom, it's also my sister and their family too. But they really feel like they found the promised land in Idaho. So it's funny, but
It's fair, dude. I've never been, so
yeah,
well,
yeah, it's a good time in the spring. Winter, it's a lot of dead stuff. But yeah, in the summer and in the spring, it's really really nice. But yeah, so it was a good time, but good movie. Definitely go check that out, Dave. Maybe it's a Mission Barbenheimer weekend for you. Maybe
dude,
just go
maybe
nuts.
just go all out, dude. I got ComiCon this weekend.
Oh shoot,
So I am. It crept up on me. I forgot about it, but I will be at ComiCon this weekend.
I
I'm
didn't
pretty
even
stoked
know.
about it.
I didn't know Comic Con was still existing.
It last year was the first one. It existed since COVID. I didn't make it last year, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for it. Like, it's not quite like what it used to be, and especially like now with all the SAG stuff going on, there's not going to be probably any actors or anything like super awesome there. But it'll be fun. My wife's pregnant, so she's going as 70s pregnant Scarlet Witch.
Oh, nice,
And so I'm going as 70s Vision,
dude.
and I'm not gonna have the makeup, but it should be fun.
I saw a bunch of people talking about Comic Con. Everybody's like, "Well, what's Comic Con gonna be with no movie studios or nothing to promote?" And everybody was like, "It'll be a comic book convention." So that's kind of funny
Go back
because,
to the roots,
dude, that it might be a really cool experience to kind of experience that part of it, which is like what it was meant for, and then what it kind of got commandeered as in terms of promotional
Yeah, I mean, I kind of stopped doing like the crazy Hall H panels like years back because it just
Yeah.
got so insane. I mean, you were there, right? The year where the Avengers assembled, and I think
Yeah.
2010. There's been some like really awesome stuff. But ever since then, it's kind of just gone to like such an insane level that there's people camping out there for like the entire night before, like 12, like 18 hours before, and it's like, dude, I'm out at this point.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, how do you contend with that? Yeah, that year with the like, I never feel like I ever, not that I go to ComiCon every year, but the times I've been after that, I've never felt like I needed to be in Hall H because I'm like, I hit the pinnacle. The one year that I did go to Hall H,
Yeah, it was like the
like
one
what,
year.
like a guy got stabbed in the
A guy
audience.
got stabbed with a pencil. They had to shut the whole thing down. Kevin Smith had some great jokes about it. Yeah, the Avengers assembled, like all
Yeah,
kinds of crazy stuff.
yeah. Harrison Ford,
Harrison Ford came out, yeah.
the first panel after the stabbing, which nobody, by the way, when somebody gets stabbed in an audience at Comic-Con, nobody makes an announcement that's like, "Hey, somebody got stabbed in the audience. We're going to take a break for a second." Everybody just, there's murmurs and then there's rumor and then it's like, I heard that somebody got stabbed with a protractor and I'm like, that just sounds like stereotyping in my opinion.
Like, why did someone have a protractor?
Yeah, what was it, plastic? But yeah, that's
It
cool, man.
was, that was wild.
Dude, you'll have to bring back some stories about like some funny stuff. I'm sure you'll run into some funny people and some funny situations there at the con.
Yeah, it should be fun. Well, thanks for joining us. We got Daner Dane and Kimster Kiss back. We got
Woo.
Peachtree. Thanks for joining us again, guys. And if you guys have any comments about Barbenheimer and kind of where you fall on that on the spectrum, because it's not black or white. Everybody's got a little of both in them. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a question of where do you fall?
Yeah, let us know if you have plans to go Barbenheimer
Or the Mission Barbenheimer. If you're going to do the trifecta and see all three, let us know.
If you go see Mission Impossible, make sure you buy a big bucket of popcorn for Tom Cruise because he, movies and popcorn, baby.
He needs it. He doesn't have money or glory, so he could use your support.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, non sequitur here. Let me ask you a question, Dave. You have a dog. I used to have a dog. Unfortunately, rest in peace. He passed away about a year ago now, which is kind of nuts. But
It is.
I was at the park the other day, and I instantly thought of you because I know you're really active with your dog. You take your dog, which I guess I'm revealing something about myself. By the time we moved into an actual house with a big backyard, I was like, Chevy's like, he's got his dream house now. But you go to the parks a lot, you interact. You told that amazing story about nailing a dude in the face with the tennis ball at the dog park. If you haven't heard that, go back to our YouTube channel and check it out. It's a clip from a few weeks ago. But
Spoilers, I hit a guy.
yeah, but you don't know how it ends, so it's not spoilers. It's just the setup. But I was at a park with my daughter. We're hanging out, and we're playing, and there's a woman that had a dog. She's just walking her dog with her kid, and you see this dude from across the park just beeline run over to the dog and instantly like bends down, starts petting the dog, and then looks up at the woman and is like, "Oh, what's his name? Is it okay if I pet your dog?" And like at this point, he was 30 seconds into like a very heavy petting situation. The dog's like licking him, no like, "Hey, is it cool if I touch your dog? Because does he bite? Like maybe he's anxious. I don't know what the situation." But it made me think like, why is that okay? Why is it okay to run up to somebody that you don't know, a perfect stranger? I'm not saying like somebody you're connected with. If I saw Artie at the park, you and Artie at the park, I would just number one, Artie would run up to me first because that's our relationship. I
She'd be
imprinted
so stoked you were there.
I imprinted on Artie at a very early age. I was smart, right? German Shepherds, you have to. But why is it okay to run up to somebody and start petting their dog? I mean, at this point, we all know animals and pets are members of our family. Like, would it be okay if you ran up to somebody at a park was like, "Hey, is it all right if I pet your grandma?" Oh, your grandma doesn't bite. And it's more egregious if you're like, "Hey, can I pet your grandma?" after you're 30 seconds into petting her. Because it's like just I don't know. It's just if an animal is a member of your family,
We
why
don't
is it
pet
okay?
grandma. We
Yeah,
don't pet grandma.
we don't pet grandma anymore. When she was younger, it was fine, but now she's a little aggressive, she's a little bit more anxious, and she nips.
Yeah, careful. She'll nip. She's not friendly. She's
Yeah.
not friendly.
Yeah, and if you see blood on her lips, that means that she's having a bad day, okay?
She's a little grumpy. Okay, she's old.
Look, you can pet grandma, but don't let grandpa see you, okay? He gets a little weird about it. You know, he comes from a different generation. Yeah, I don't know. There's certain things that we feel like as we're entitled to, and one of maybe like I don't want you touching my dog. How about that? How about I don't trust you, okay? How do I know you're not a dog human trafficker? Sorry, a dog trafficker. I guess it wouldn't be human, wrong species. But I don't know. I thought that was really weird. And as a dog owner, I mean, if somebody ran up to you at a park and just started petting your dog, I mean, would that be offensive to you?
I'm actually stoked when people do that because I run into so many people that, well, my dog's like ultra friendly to the point where like maybe too much so,
Yeah.
where she's actually the one going up and touching people against their will,
Oh, so she's a whore.
like
Okay.
saying hi. She's a little bit of an attention whore. But so I'm actually stoked when they react like positively to that when they're like, oh wow, like she's friendly, blah blah blah. Because there's people that are like just so like just seem like angered by it, like they're just like I don't know. There's certain people that have dogs that are just like, come on, let's go, let's go.
Yeah. I think I'd be in
And
that camp.
I have to be like, they don't want to be your friend, Artie. I'm sorry.
Damn. So you just passive aggressively
Yeah,
just like say something to them, but to Artie, that's smart. I think I would be in the camp of just don't touch my dog. All right. Like you can ask me, but if I look you in the eye and say, you know what, he's just not having a great day today. Let's both part and let's not make this a weird thing. But I don't know. It's weird to me that people run up and just automatically assume they can do that. Maybe it's
I get
me.
that. I get that that could be a problem, but yeah, I don't know. I like to live in this fake utopia where like everyone's friends and everyone loves dogs. So, because I also let my dog off leash a lot too. Like when it's like a good environment, I feel like she can
Sure.
handle it. But I'm also like constantly wary about it, where I'm like, like who's gonna get pissed about it, like that kind of a thing. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's almost like, I guess dogs are the pets you can really do that to. If you tried that shit with a cat, dude, you'd be pulling back one eye and one eye only.
actually, my cats are pretty stoked over attention too. But yeah, for sure, I know some cats are. That would definitely be a risk that I would not want to take with someone else's. Let's put it that way.
Well, your cats are street cats too. Those homeless
Yeah,
apartment cats, like they can defend themselves is what I'm saying. They don't need a human owner to stick up for them.
we found three cats, sibling cats, all girls, calicos, back like 12 and a half years ago when we were at this apartment complex that Eli's wife was currently managing, and so we found him there, and we ended up keeping two of the cats, and then Eli took the third one, and we still have them. They're like 13 years old, and yeah, they have like super distinct personalities too. But when you
Dude,
say
those
street cats, it's almost like they're like where was that? Was that the Anaheim place? Like
yeah,
they're Anaheim complex street cats.
it was in the barrio in Anaheim, and those cats, like I always imagine like those three girls always like had like Brooklyn accents, like they were like the newsy era, like I'm gonna pickpocket you because they grew up on the street. What else do they know?
I knew they're the dad that I know, the cat that I'm pretty sure was their dad was pretty cool. Like he would like hang around and like, so I feel like they.
He's, oh, sorry, you got that wrong. I'm actually the step cat father. The real father ran away. We haven't seen him in years, but they figured the girls need a positive male role model.
Yeah, but I was able to seduce them with quesadillas that I had from Taco Bell at the time, so that worked out.
Wow. That also
Peachtree says, absolutely do not come up to my cat. She will either kill you or run away and hide for 12 hours. That's a pretty classic cat.
Yeah, dude, cats are
Everybody wants
assholes.
to be a cat.
Cats are assholes, and you can, I've met cats that are assholes that are like cool. I'm like, all right, I understand it. It's like an independent woman kind of a thing, And then there are other cats that have no basis to be assholes, and they're just like, I'm a cat. You should understand already. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
cats
Fair
have
enough.
a broad range.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, cool. All right. Well, so that's an interesting perspective because you really come at it from like a proud parent perspective when it comes
Yeah,
to your dog. Okay, cool. And good to know Artie is an attention whore.
she's pretty wild, dude. But she's doing pretty well. She's got a lot of energy.
Daner Dane said, my cat wakes me up between 4 and 5 a.m. for breakfast. Daner Dane, it's
Oh
time to
man.
drop that cat off at a clinic. All right. They'll find it a new home, maybe an early riser, maybe somebody that, you know, can take that problem off your hands, because that's an alarm clock you can't turn off, dude.
It is.
Oh, Dave's having some focus problems.
Focus.
Your camera needs some
I
alpha
have
burn.
ADD, so I do have focus issues, so I relate, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Here we go.
Totally. Cool.
Just got to take a little focus. That is tough, man. I mean, I'm about to have a kid, so I'm ready to be woken up at you know, whatever odd hours of the night. And I'm not super stoked about it. But maybe I'll take the night shift. That sounds better.
The great part about it is you don't have an option. So it forces you into a lane very quickly. And you know, you'll definitely there'll be a period of adaptation for sure, for both the kid and you. That's the crazy thing. It's like, you think about it from your perspective, but once the kid figures you out, that's when you have a problem, you know.
I'm just gonna lay down the law early and not give in to anything, you know.
Yeah,
the baby cries because, you know, she's hungry. I just won't give into it.
dude. The thing you gotta look out for with a newborn baby is they play mind games with you, dude. They're very manipulative. It's like, I'm hungry. It's like, don't. I mean, yeah, and there are times that's valid, but then there's other times that you got to kind of look at it and go, are you just playing on my emotions right now and trying to get something out of me? And that's happens an awful lot.
Well,
Father of the year. If you need any other advice, just let me know. And,
we got that recorded now, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm manipulating an awful lot, but
well, I had a question for everybody. I was okay, so I was getting my hair cut earlier, and I just kept thinking, like, I just have this weird thought, like, every time I get my hair cut, and it made me wonder, like, what are, like, the weird things? Okay, so the apocalypse hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen.
Sure.
I don't know if it's gonna be AI or, you know, whatever that takes us over. But when the apocalypse hits and all hell breaks loose, like, what are just like random things that could happen that would be just awkward? And for me, I just keep thinking every time I get a haircut, I'm like, dude, if the world ends right now, the guy doing my hair is just gonna stop midway through, and he's gonna probably run.
Oh, I see.
And then I'm gonna be stuck with, like, just looking like a total idiot with, like, a terrible haircut. And I feel like that's almost like double worse in the apocalypse, because it's like you got to worry about surviving, but also, like, you know, that's the last thing you want to worry about. You don't want to look like a complete idiot.
Well, and you have to imagine, like, you know, in a post-apocalyptic world, you're going to have to traverse the terrain in a different way, and you can't look like shit doing that. I mean, you can, I guess, but
you're not going to be able to barter with anybody.
No.
You know, that's going to be like, I mean, maybe it'll break the ice where people will be like, why do you have like a flat top?
Well,
or a bowl cut or whatever it is, like.
Well, what's that going to look like on the open market too? If you need to get a haircut, like, what is the market rate in post-apocalyptic America for a haircut? Right now, you could probably get away with $30 to $40, depending on where you go. And I can just hear the chat now going, "Oh yeah, you what do you go to Supercuts?" And yeah, I do. Okay. And I know the guy's name. Actually, I don't. I go to a barber and I have to tune him out.
So you're used to like terrible haircuts, so it's not a problem for you.
Yeah, sure.
You have that 24/7.
But I'm adaptable, is what I'm saying. I'm saying if the apocalypse comes and my hair is half shag, half buzzed, nobody's gonna look at me and go, "Well, that's different for Eli." They're gonna go, "Oh, this is a Tuesday." It just so happens that the apocalypse happened. So I think yeah. I mean, that's a great question, though. I think the larger implications of situations in which you're in when the apocalypse happens. So when you say apocalypse, do you mean like like the sky turns to fire? And
yeah, I guess it would have to be something abrupt,
like
obviously, because it'd be like you have to react instantly. People are gonna run. So if you picture like aliens land and blow things up, or like Godzilla, or like, you know, a zombie outbreak, or some kind of natural disaster that's crazy, like a tornado sweeps across LA or something like that. That would be like everyone would just drop what they're doing and have to react to it.
Well, I'll tell you what, for me, the most awkward interaction would be if a Jehovah's Witness came to my door and I was talking to them and the rapture happened. Because if they didn't get taken, then I'm like, you're a hypocrite, because there's something in your life. There's something that your house isn't clean, and you're at my door telling me that I need to clean up my house.
You're all, I rest my case, Jehovah's Witness.
I'm like, look, do you want to revise your pitch here? Because, I mean, that's my neighbor right there, and he's a zombie. So
look, I didn't get taken by the rapture either, but this means we're on the same ground, and we're both wrong.
And what's up with that hair? Let's talk about that. I mean, what's going on there? You're gonna have an uphill battle in the apocalyptic world. But yeah, that's an interesting question, man. I don't know. There's a ton of there's a ton of situations you could be in that are really really awkward.
First of all, Dane Dane doesn't believe that supercuts still exist.
Well, it does. So
Maybe in Garden Grove they still maybe there's like a couple left.
whoa, bro! You just gave my GPS, dude. Everybody thought I was in Stanton or Buena Park, dude. Now they can pinpoint where I'm.
You were claiming Stanton before this?
No, I've never claimed Stanton. I'm not Vince.
We all know, yeah.
Speaking of that, really quick, I hear Whiskey Vince is in the house tonight. Is that true, Whiskey Vince? You there? Oh, Stan. No way. I saw what whiskey you're drinking. Nobody in Stan drinks that nice bottle of whiskey, dude. Mm-hmm.
It's hot, dude.
Unmute myself. Hey, Stanton Whiskey Vince here. I unmuted the wrong one. I am sweating. I'm so glad I'm not on camera this week. But I am sipping on some whiskey and glad to be here. And
you got your whiskey back. It seems like you're going with that branding of being Whiskey Vince pretty hard.
We'll see how the night goes, dude. It's 95-degree weather plus whiskey in a room without AC. I'm just going to be profusely sweating.
What goes better to get? What two things could be better for each other?
Yeah, what really makes dehydration more of an option than those two things?
Make sure you don't go on the rocks either. Just go straight up.
Just boiled whiskey.
Put it out in the sun first for a couple hours.
Yeah. Just let the mosquitoes suck you dry. That's Vince. What do you think is what situation can you see being awkward in the middle of an apocalypse?
I was just typing in the chat, me calling AMC, being like, "Hey, I know Godzilla's kind of trampling around. Are you guys still open to see Barbenheimer this weekend? Because I already purchased my tickets." Yeah.
Well, do you get a refund if it's doesn't exist? Maybe if you're on the phone with customer service too, and it's like, because whenever I have to do that for something, like it's like a 45-minute process. So like imagine being on like minute 41 and then the apocalypse hits. I feel like I would try to like keep it going.
That would piss me off.
I don't want to stop at that point. It's like you've come that far.
I kind of feel like we're in a culture.
What if the apocalypse caused because that's the worst thing ever, right? When you're on hold for 20 plus minutes and then the call drops and they don't have the decency to call you back. That would piss me off.
They're not going to call you back.
I would be outraged. I don't care what the situation was. I'd be outraged if I was on the phone for 40 minutes and that minute 41 when they came back, they're like, okay, sorry about the wait. And then the apocalypse hit and then the call dropped. I would that would be it for me. I don't know that I'd recover from that.
And then you'd have to judge the apocalypse where you're like, okay, is this just like a week-long thing? Because if like it's only like a mildly bad apocalypse, that means like your bank account's still going to matter. Like you still got you got to go back to your job. But if it's like a really bad apocalypse, then it's like all bets are off. Nothing matters. Like money's irrelevant. So it's like maybe spur of the moment, you got to decide which one it is so you know how to approach it.
Personally, if I'm going to go through an apocalypse, I want the 4 horsemen. I want it to be as bad as humanly possible because then I can be like, I don't have to worry about going to work tomorrow, right?
You don't have to pay your student loans back if it's the 4 horsemen apocalypse. So like no one's going to pay him at that point. So
nobody's going
to have to either.
Nobody's going to need corporate housing when the sky is full of fire, okay? And there's demons riding on horseback, just, the harbingers of souls. Like I don't have much to worry about at that point. But yeah, interesting thought. And I love, number one, I'm jealous that you have the ability to zone out like that during your haircut. I'm usually in a room full of people that talk. So it's a little bit tougher to zone out. I'd love to zone out. I think the haircut experience is like, it's like a spa situation,
You got it. I mean, it's Supercuts. They don't sit around talking about philosophy, but in most barbershops, if you go there, they really hit some hard hitting issues.
It's not so much philosophy talk as, was Ricky Henderson robbed in the 80s when he clearly stole that 35th base in a 3-game series? I'm just like, I can't hang with this dude. I don't know. I know enough about sports to get through a conversation, but not if you're referencing a timeline before I was born.
Yeah, no, that is. We got some interesting comments. We got Dane Dr. Dane is giving us the breakdown of alcohol inhibits the production of anti-diuretic. It's not diarrhea. I know that.
Diuretic.
Diuretic, making you dehydrated.
Makes you pee more.
So I guess Vince, don't take my advice on that. It makes sense.
Do you know that, and Dane or Dane, if I'm wrong about this, please correct me in the chat. Did you know that when people go into like radiated areas, which I don't know how often that happens, but they'll drink vodka because it's a diuretic and it makes you pee, which like you get rid of that radiation that your body stores. It like gets rid of it. Did you know that? Did you know that that's what they do? He
said yes.
I mean, it won't completely, like, if you're in an irradiated place and you don't have protection, you're royally screwed. But I'm just saying, it helps. It helps to drink some vodka, and that comforts me.
I need to see some sources, Dane or Dane. I don't know if this is Vince is trying to instigate a Dr. Dane versus Dr. Dave fight. I don't know if we need to fight, but
look,
I haven't watched any documentaries about it though. I'll say that.
It's the end times, dude. There's no fighting in the end times. They're just warlords and, trying to survive, which that's the other thing. If we're in apocalypse and you have to survive, I'm not going to survive. That's it for me. It was a good run. I'm glad I got as many years as I did of peace, but I don't want to live in that world. So it never like, oh, AI is going to bring about the apocalypse. If that's the way it's going, that's the way it's going. So take me out. I don't want to be here for that. You know what I mean?
Well, it makes you think. It's like, what would you contribute? We've talked about this before. What is it? It makes you think about, as a human being, like, what do I actually contribute? Like,
sure.
Like Vince can go out. Vince is great at Photoshop, Whiskey Vince. But like, you can't do that. You can't do that in an apocalypse. So like, what are you going to do if you start a commune in a post-apocalyptic society? You're the only human beings left. What are you actually going to contribute? And I kind of had a hard time thinking of things.
Are you attacking me right now, Dave? What are you going to contribute, Whiskey Vince? You can't produce.
Well, you got to think, what are you going to contribute in an apocalypse?
I actually had a question.
I don't really have anything good. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I'm kind of the same, but I do have fun little knowledge. Eli was talking about drinking vodka for radiation. Have you heard of the babushkas of Chernobyl? A documentary about grandmas that live in Chernobyl still and just drink whiskey all day and live in the radiated zone.
What?
Yeah, dude, they did not want to leave their home, so when everyone left and everything just melted, they were just like, "Nah, I'm good." It's just a whole bunch of
right, because they're still there.
They're still there.
What he's
and
leaving
they
out
still
though
have
is that
two
they
arms.
have extra fingers.
They have multiple eyes.
That's a bad thing or not?
That's fine, dude. I'll go with that.
They already had those fingers.
Dude, they're hell on the baseball field though. Let me tell you, that extra finger gives you a lot to work with.
Just home runs all day.
Which movie or TV show is most like the apocalypse in your mind?
What does that mean?
Like what am I referencing when I think of the apocalypse?
Yeah, I do want to know what kind.
I almost feel like the thing that caused the apocalypse is kind of irrelevant. It's more just like, if you're thinking about the fact that like everyone's gone basically. Like maybe there's just there's like a person here and there that's left, and you kind of have to find each other and start little colonies, or you die, kind of a thing. Like,
so
what would you
man on
do?
Earth?
Like if you're like, oh, I found like 22 other people that are like around for miles and miles, and I don't know what else is out there. Like everything else is gone. Like what do we do? What was the TV show?
Last Man on Earth.
Last Man on Earth. It kind of makes me think about that, right? Like
the first 5 episodes of that series are great.
Fantastic. It finds people.
Honestly, the pilot is like, I could go back and watch the pilot whenever. It's like one of the funniest things ever.
It's very
good.
Yeah, the commune in The Last of Us. That's a good, pretty example too.
I thought The Last of Us did a great job of kind of visualizing that world, and again, I'm not referencing the video game, even though I just bought it. But anyway, the visuals of that show did a good job of showing you kind of like the way nature would overtake, our modern world and industrial zones and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say The Last Man on Earth is kind of something I think of, and I think like it's, in my opinion, it's fun to think about. Like, it makes you it captures your imagination, because you're like, what would I do if there was nobody here, if there's no checks and balances of other humans to tell me no, like, if there's no authority or anything.
Well, I know what you would do, because I watched you play Red Dead Online, and you're an animal, dude. You just kill people for fun. You string them up. I I hope that you'd be on my side during a post-apocalyptic.
Sure.
I'll just say that.
I don't think, I think if this podcast proves anything, it is that I would be on your side. Um,
I don't know.
now
It's hard to say, dude.
if you charge me at a saloon for whiskey, that might change things. I still have morals in Red Dead. They're hard to find, but they're still there.
What moral? Like, who would you compare that to? What morals are we talking about?
Who would I compare it to? I don't know, Genghis Khan. Who else? It's really about like, did you ride by me on your horse and did you get a little bit too close to me? Because that's a sign of disrespect. It's really a respect. It's primal is what it is. It goes back to, evolution and the apes and whatever else you want to contribute. But I think I would be an absolute bastard in a post-apocalypse. But then there's the other part that's like, I don't think me as a real human being, not in the, not killing NPCs. Like, if I don't think I have the stomach to really be a warlord. So I don't know. I'd fall somewhere in between.
You would like, they would make you their chief, and you'd be like the warlord, and then you would quickly be like, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, it would just be like my life now, where I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then 2 days in, when I'm like, when I have to actually do it, I'm like, I don't know about this. Did I overcommit? You don't want to overcommit in the apocalypse, because where else is there to go? And you can't make an excuse for things, because everybody else is like, dude, what do you mean you can't make it tonight? It's the apocalypse. You don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, it makes you think, dude. And like, I don't know, like you need real skills in an apocalypse. Like, you need to like be able to do things with your hands and like build things and like do practical, like fix things. And I can't do any of that. That's the problem. Like,
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like, maybe I could like negotiate or something. I could like negotiate like furs or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
I'd have to probably still, I'd probably be okay to negotiate a bumper to bumper warranty. But it would definitely be difficult. You'd have to, it would teach you about who you are as a human being and what like you really felt about things. And gone, you can kiss goodbye the days of like, well, how do you feel about this? That doesn't exist anymore. Now it's like, oh, does that animal have fresh meat inside of itself? Then I'm going to kill it and eat it.
Although Diener Dean says I can offer education, security, and snuggles, I actually feel like snuggles like kind of still have a good benefit, because I feel like you still need like an emotional connection.
Yeah, but if I'm my Red Dead character talking, I'm going to say that's a sign of weakness. Okay, because I know that you have that emotion and you care about other people, which means that I can hang that over your head. You want to snuggle that person because you feel bad for them? Well, how about I kidnap them and make you give me all of your gold bits for me to release them, because I know how much you care about that person. So I don't know. It's a weighted scale, dude. You got to.
So don't let Eli into your commune is basically what you're saying. Don't let
me babysit.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're getting all this out. I've just been thinking more about the apocalypse because, we've been reading about, AI where it is, and sort of like learning more about like where we end up and how like when we reach like true AI, or what they call ASI, eventually
artificial sass intelligence, dude.
Yeah, or sexy intelligence. I can't remember which one it is, but both like would be pretty great.
I like sass because
maybe they'll need snuggles if it's sass or sexy. I don't know.
Sass implies that like when you prompt a robot, it's gonna go, well, is that really a good idea? And then I'm like, whoa, hey.
The second there's sarcasm, we're like, dude, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
We've reached AI.
This is not the agreement. This is not what's that test in in Blade Runner to tell between a replicant? Yeah. I forgot what it is, but but
we got sass here.
Look, I'm all for commanding you to do things, but if you have a perspective where you can sass talk me, then I'm out. This relationship.
I don't know though, because I feel like Siri kind of imitates sass like pretty well, like in certain things, but even though it's just programming.
I feel like that's a little bit of a Rorschach test too,
Yeah.
Well, all this talk about the apocalypse actually transitions into something else that I wanted to bring in this week, because I spend a lot of time on YouTube, whether it be for this channel or just my own personal. Honestly, I think YouTube is the greatest form of entertainment beyond all else. But the reason for which is you can find these weird nichey things. One of my favorite channels is just a guy in Alabama that is building like a 5-acre pond in his backyard. So he like breaks down the ecosystem and how you have to build the ecosystem from like, you know, from literally the dirt level into creating food chains and algae blooms and all of this, right? So super nichey there. I found a new YouTube channel that I wanted to tell you guys about. And the name of it is called Ghost Town Living. Have you guys ever heard of it? Anybody in the chat ever heard of Ghost Town Living? They got 1.45 million subscribers, so I know people out there have seen this channel. All right, so what it is the video I watched, there's a guy who there's a thing called the Cerro Gordo mines in the Inyo Mountains, and it's this abandoned silver mine and abandoned ghost town that this dude bought and has a YouTube channel where he's trying to renovate it. He's trying to restore the history of the place. But also, I guess like the silver, it was a silver mine, the silver dried up, the water dried up, so everybody left, and had been abandoned for 100 years. Well, then he bought it. Well, there's this video that I watched of him. He was going down because I guess there's all these different tunnels and like tunneling system that go all the way down like 900 feet into the ground from back when they used to mine zinc and silver and a little bit of gold out of there. And so there's this point he was talking about. There's like this whole 900-foot or deep shaft that they've never been to. And he was talking about in the video, he goes, I'm trying to go down there because there's like all this stuff probably down there that nobody knows about, like in terms of like machinery, maybe more slag, maybe more, you know, minerals, maybe stuff like that. So anyway, I got sucked into this like 35-minute video about this guy restoring this ghost town. And he's also building a hotel up there. And that's when I'm like, okay, that's the genius of this place. But it made me wonder, like, you guys buy a ghost town. Vince, this includes you too. I want your input on this. Let's say we buy a ghost town. We you know, we put together the $50 that it probably cost to buy this piece of dirt out in the middle of the desert that nobody really knows about. What are you doing with that ghost town? How are you bringing life back to that ghost town? Are you just like leaving it there as like, obviously he already made the YouTube channel, so we can't use that. That's probably the most genius thing that you could do with it. But what would you do with it? Would you maybe create like an Airbnb? Maybe you'd create, you know, I don't know, a theme park.
Brothel.
First of all, you got to get the trains running through there, or else, you know,
or
how are you going
Hyperloop.
to transport things?
Brothel.
Dude, brothel?
Ghost Town brothel.
I thought about that. Ghost Town brothel is great, but you got to get
Ghost Town
brothel.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get people out there, though. People don't know where this place is at. I mean, it's not that far. It's like probably 3 or 4 hours away from us. It's not that far away. So then I was thinking, immersive theater, right? And
That's gonna get someone out there.
And you start super minuscule. You only like for years. You commit to the bit. So you grow out your beard, you grow out your hair. You're just unkempt, and you live amongst the rocks and the hills of this ghost town, right? So maybe 10 times a year, hikers stumble upon this place, and you create this perception. And I'm kind of stealing from the Brady Bunch playbook here because there was a 3-part episode that kind of had a similar theme, but you create this characters of like sightings, right? There used to be a thing in Ukaipa. Ukaipa used to have the Ukaipa Watchers. That was this mythic, this house.
The Ukaipa Watchers.
Dude, they're still a thing, aren't they?
They moved during the pandemic, dude.
Bunch of
I looked it up and I was pissed.
But you take the Ukaipa Watchers playbook.
Well, let's just real quick tell people who the Ukaipa Watchers are. It's this house in Ukaipa that's there, that this family lives there of weird characters of all ages and whatever. And they got popularity because they realized that anytime anybody would try to park near the house, walk up towards the house, walk their dog by the house, do anything, they would all come out of the house getting really pissed and come out with weapons and bats and be ready to like go after you, dude.
These are like old white dudes too, like old white guys, and
like their houses looks all like obvious, like because it's all boarded up and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
But like you drive up to it. We used to go with my family to Thanksgiving at my great aunt's house. It was in Ukaipa, and it was like 3 blocks away from there, dude. So like one year we like convinced like a bunch of my aunts and uncles to do it. And they were like the least people you would expect. And we all caravanned over to the Watcher's house, dude. And we parked up in front of it. And dude, sure enough, they all came out, dude. And like, it was just so funny. My aunt just freaking out, like, oh my God, go.
They're going to kill us. Dave,
but they have like,
the car.
They have like, we didn't even get out of the car. We were parked there for like 2 seconds.
It was a game.
But they have like cameras everywhere. Anyway, I'm bummed out they're not there anymore.
It became a game, and that's what I'm saying is I create this character that people go home and they're like, dude, did you hear about the old miner up at the Cerro Gordo mine up there? No, get out of here, bro. You didn't see, you guys were tripping on mushrooms. That's true, but he does exist. And he like, and I just like I brandish a shotgun. It's not loaded, it's a prop, right? But the image of it scares people. So then you got more people coming back, right? And the more people, all you would really need is about 100 people coming back. And you just like you advertise like to the uber rich, and you create this immersive. You start low. First of all, it's just us three too. So we all take on different roles. And when we have people go up there, we start doing this like 3-man act of this mining colony and this ghost town. And then we start like, people go home and it's like, hey, the magic castle's out. You got to go up to this mine up in Cerro Gordo. It takes 5 hours to get to, and you have to hike or take horseback to get up there. But let me tell you something. It's a good time. You have influencers come up there. They're taking selfies with the actors, right? And it's this whole like game. And I think you do that for over the course of 20, 25 years, you got a successful business on your hands. And
just a small 20 to 25 year investment.
Sure.
You got to move your lives over there, but it'll be worth it.
Sure,
Dane's saying that's called my family reunion. Dane's going to move his family out. They can just live there. Well, and they can contribute to it.
I would have to, it'd be a strong vetting process. I would love to have more performers come out, and if there's people that are method and really live that life, even better. But I think it's going to really.
Are they meth or method? Because I feel like either one you could take.
There's no rules in the ghost town. See, that's the beauty of a ghost town. There's no law. I mean, sure, Vince is going to be playing like he's the sheriff of the town, but he's not really. He doesn't really hold any authority. So yeah, you want to do a bump of meth? Do it. Make that
sheriff. If the sheriff shows up, we'll just be like, "What? We ain't been doing nothing. What's the problem, officer?
We ain't doing no meth, officer. We just out here. We're American citizens." Yeah,
we're actors. We're method, but we're not meth.
I'm the sheriff, and I just believe everyone. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, they said they weren't.
Well, guys, it's fine. I trust them.
You're super skeptical at first, and then you're just like, all right, well, keep it down out here. It's getting loud.
All right, well, your decibels are getting a little high out here with the bass and the music you're playing.
And then everybody around just like, oh yeah, it's the sheriff, woo! And we create this lord, and then we
get out of here, sheriff.
We hire this marketing team to come in and just shoot all of it. So then we start doing what this guy's doing, and we create a YouTube channel on this, and Instagram and TikTok. I mean, 25 years, it's probably not gonna be TikTok anymore. It's probably just gonna be Talk because they dropped the tick to appeal to a younger audience. But I don't know. Immersive theater is the thing that is only in its infancy, and I think we can make people come to our ghost town. It's killing two birds with one stone.
I mean, that's been my dream, to basically create something immersive that is almost like Westworld, except people instead of androids. But
to answer Dane's question, there's like a dinner theater element to it, and that's really what we're trying to get people to.
It's like the next evolution of a dinner theater, because a dinner theater is like, it's cool. It's a mystery. You're at dinner, but this could be like, you don't know what it is. It's like beyond, you don't know if it's an escape room. You don't know. You're just there. And suddenly you're in an old mining town.
Yeah.
And it is like you're there back in time, and might be horrible, but it's going to be a real experience.
You're going to sleep on the ground. You're going to, you might have an old barrel as a pillow, but that's
not going to be fun.
Charm. It's not going to be fun at all. It's going to be an absolute slog. You're going to be spending, one weekend up here at this immersive theater show is $25,000. So, sure. Like, are we appealing to the Kardashian crowd only? Yeah, to start. But as we get bigger, we can go buy more mines. Okay. We can really spread this out through the entire continental US.
And you set up quest lines, You can have little initiated experiences that happen, but it's up to you, whoever's there, to like respond to that if you want to,
So what I'm hearing,
you're like, we're rustling over the outlaws. We got to go get them behind the mountain, and then you can go or you could not go. You can see what's going on.
But if you don't go, you're the town bitch. And so for the rest of the weekend, everybody's like, there's the bitch that didn't have the balls to go look for the rustlers. Let's get him.
Sure, everyone that went out there's dead, but you're a bitch.
You're a bitch. You're not a real man. Yeah, so I think, to kind of tie it into the post-apocalyptic thing, we can, it's a mixture of both. It's going back in time, but it's also like, hey, we might be in this place in the next 10 to 15 years. So let's get used to it. Let's enjoy it as theater, but also it's going to be uncomfortable for everybody.
Daner Dane says he's in, dude. Kimster Kiss says she's in, but she said tap dancing I'm in. So I think it sounds like she's only in if there's tap dancing. I don't know if we can at this point of the juncture guarantee tap dancing, but
Yeah.
it's certainly not off the table.
Yeah, that tap dancing is a little bit putting the cart before the horse, but that's all right. Like, cause that see what I like about that is the vision there, Kimster, because that's somewhere that it gives us somewhere to go. We don't want it to be stagnant. You know, it's going to take 25 years of time investment, and only our kids are going to benefit from this if we make it a success. But I think that in and of itself is the true pleasure.
If we can spit on people, then I'm in, because I think that's more authentic.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be spittoons everywhere, so that
there's gonna be a brothel, then I feel like it comes with the territory.
And if you don't smoke or use tobacco products, you can't come. Okay, there's gonna be parameters to this. It's like the Magic Castle. If you don't wear a tie or whatever, then you can't come in. But with us, it's like if you've taken a shower in the last week, sorry, stay at home. Stay in Calabasas where they appreciate that shit.
Wait, Whiskey Vince says, "How about trap dancing? We just trap people and dance around them."
That is, yeah. I mean, that tracks. That's more accurate to the time.
I'm an idea man.
We can go trap dance. We can yell that as we do it.
But it's more like Yahoo! Trap dance.
You just got trap danced.
You got trap. Now you're gonna spend a week in hell
and just leave them there.
Am I done?
Roll let the vultures pick at them.
Then there's like the one guy that just sits on like and just like ominously smokes and like laughs and giggles at everything. Yeah,
I'll be that guy.
Yeah, sure.
I already am.
There's got to be an old what are they called? Like old harbinger who's like, when you first get there, he's like, "Please all beware of the old town gang, the graphite gang that comes through these parts," and like warns you of like all the.
He's all many tell a tale about a ghost town. But I don't know. I've seen my fair share of trap dancers in that town. I'd beware. I'd watch out where you're going.
So no one expects trap dancing, but that's where they get you.
Trap dancers are, well, it's the way of the future. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm hearing that this is a good idea, so I'm glad. I knew that I could count on you guys.
We'll look for investors.
Yeah, if anybody's in the chat that has a lot of money and wants to waste it, just let us know. We'll, we'll call it the Trap Dance Fund. Yeah.
Well,
I think we got a plan here, dude.
I had one. Okay, if I can kind of go back to the sort of theater topic that we had before.
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of had another poll to do because I feel like every time I'm looking forward to doing Barbenheimer, but I feel like every time I go to the theater, there's like a 50% chance that I end up next to a chomper. And when I say chomper, I mean a popcorn chomper. That, it's not just like you're eating popcorn. It's like you're really going at it, dude. And it's as if you're like, there's no one else in the room. And I really feel like there's a really high percentage. Like there's been times where I've had to like straight up leave and go to the other side of the theater because it's been really bad. So I don't know, what are you guys' experiences with that? Like, what percentage chance do you feel like it is when you go to a theater that you're next to a chomper?
It's got to be at least 50.
You think it's 50 for you too?
I would say 50%. After having a kid, I go see all my movies alone because all my friends either moved to LA or Oregon. And so yeah, like it's always a weird energy when I go see a movie by myself. I love it. I love the experience and like the ritual of that. But it's funny because there's this period where especially if you're sitting directly next to somebody, there's like a period of like, can I trust you? And then you're sensing the energy of like, why is this guy here by himself? Like what is there? But I will say more oftentimes than not, there are people chomping popcorn, and they're never Tom Cruise. Cause I always look, I'm like, maybe that's Tom, maybe he's chomping movies and popcorn.
He's chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
No, but this guy, like the last time I'm there's this guy that's like chomping, and he has like an XL sized popcorn, and I'm like just counting down the time. Like I'm trying to ignore him, but like finally we're like halfway through the movie, and I'm like, dude, he's got to be like towards the end of his bucket now, dude. And it does seem like he's getting there because he's just nonstop like going at it, dude. But then he like leaves. 5 minutes later, he comes back with a refill of the XL popcorn, dude, and just keeps going again.
I was going to say, if you order an XL, you're definitely getting refills. If you're ordering an XL popcorn, you know you have like market research of yourself that you will finish that XL popcorn.
Even if you waste 100% of it, you got to still get it.
And it's like, if you got an XL popcorn, you're rocking 20-minute previews at the beginning. You're at least halfway done with that bucket by the time the movie actually starts. So that's another 2 hours, 2+ hours of chomping time, man.
All right, here we go. I got some popcorn because I wanted to do an impression of the chomper.
Okay, this should be good.
Okay, here we go.
Does the head jerk, like, is that part of it? Because that,
I can't see him because he's behind me, but I
about
can
to
only
say.
assume that his head jerking
That was
matches
vicious. Do it again.
it. Because the the aggression behind it, dude, is so intense.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn you up, Dave.
All right, ready? Let's get some popcorn ASMR, dude.
dude, you know what I love about your portrayal is that with each bite, each shovel of popcorn, his focus and intensity on the movie just exponentially increases. Like, that is like, he is not enjoying that movie unless he aggressively and forcefully eats that popcorn.
Like, the movie's not even good. Why are you so intent on the movie, dude?
Like, dude, this is Transformers Rise of the Beast. Like, nobody.
Like, no one pays 100% attention to it.
Here's honestly, my viewpoint is this: if you're going to a theater and you're not stoned out of your mind and have the munchies, or a 3-year-old kid, you don't need popcorn at all. Eat dinner before you go, okay? And that includes Vince, because I know Vince is a popcorn muncher, dude.
Is that why you left, Vince? Are you a chomper, dude?
I have a silencer. I'm not too loud whenever I'm chomping.
If I find out you're a chomper, I don't know. I'm going to have to rethink our friendship.
I'm a giggler. I'm not a chomper, though.
I don't... I support gigglers.
Yeah.
That seems okay.
I think chompers are in the same category as people that go to movies and their stream of like their thoughts that they should be having in their head, they're saying out loud. So it's like,
Oh, that's the worst.
well, he shouldn't do that. It's like, yeah, we all understand that. That's the point of like, he shouldn't do that. And we want to see him correct those as a character that needs redemption. Like, what are you here for?
You should just stand up and be like, you guys, he's right. Did you guys hear him?
Hey, can you
Yeah,
stop? Excuse me. Can you stop the reel, please?
Hey,
Listen to what this guy
why
has
is he
to
doing
say.
that? That is a valid point.
Dude,
Look.
I have an issue with Paige. Whenever we watch movies, she lines it up to the T where she asked a question that I know for a fact is about to be answered if you continue to watch the movie. And it's like every single time. It's movies that I don't, it's the first time watching it, and I'm like, oh, it's all leading up to what she just asked. Do I turn to her and say, like, he's about to fucking say it? Like, just wait. But we're in the movie theaters, and she's just chomping away. But at home, we watch Back to the Future, and she would ask questions, and I'm like, just pointing at the screen, like, just watch. It's
Even
about
right
to
now,
happen.
Peachtree is interrupting you
Yeah.
by trying to guess what's going to happen when if she just waited and listened to you.
She knew I was
Also-
about to bring this up.
Also, Vince, I think you just described women. Like, I don't think that that's mutually exclusive to
All
Paige.
right, I wasn't going to say that, okay? I wasn't going to say
I'll
that.
say it.
Whoa,
Look,
that was Chance.
whoa.
we got to be honest about this, all right? And I think, if you're at
Cancel
home,
Chance.
though, pause the movie. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be an issue. Just
Clip
I will
pause it.
say at home, I do pause the movie
Sure.
because I want to give it my undivided attention, but I also have really intelligent, smart things to say. So I try to
It
find
took
a balance.
Dave 12 hours to watch Transformers Rise of the Beast, and that's just crazy.
Well, you see, the philosophy behind that line is
Dave's
You're
wife
all
is like,
goes
is,
back a couple decades.
is
I'll
that
see
car
Pete
a robot?
Davidson as one of the Transformers makes sense because kids love Pete Davidson. Oh, man. That's a good point, dude. Now I'm going to specifically look out. So I think the important thing this weekend, if you're Barbenheimering this weekend, pay attention to the chompers. I want to hear reports of next week, and we'll read them. If you're in the chat, come back next week. Tell us the story of tell us your your experiences with chompers in the movie theater.
It's bad because, you know, if someone's being really disruptive and like talking really loud, like that's something that somebody can complain about. They could be like, hey, this guy's just talking the whole movie. But what are you going to say with someone chomping, dude? What are you going to do? Like, this guy's eating popcorn? You can't,
Yeah.
you know? That's how
Hey,
the movie is.
asshole, stop chomping. That's what
You going to chomp the whole movie, huh?
Look, save some chomping for the rest of us, buddy. All right? Yeah. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. So yeah, come in next week. Tell us a story about, you know, your experiences in the movie theater. I always like, you know, pointing out weird people in the movie theater, whether they be loud talkers, whether they be, I've had some instances where there's couples fighting in the middle of a movie. That's always fun.
Nice.
You know, which is why I stopped going to movies with Vince.
Defend yourself, Whiskey Vince. Vince, how much whiskey have you downed at this point?
I think I'm like 3 shots in. It got to the point where I don't feel
dude.
how hot it is in here anymore. I'm still sweaty, but I'm like,
The feed's
I
going to
don't
go
care
down
anymore.
like any second.
Oh, yeah.
Vince isn't going to know how to get it back
I stopped
up.
touching buttons because I'm nervous.
I was really hoping that Dave, you would just keep going with the chomping, dude. Anytime you have popcorn now, I just...
Oh, really?
Honestly, I was hoping for like a good 5 minutes of just Dave going.
Dave has the energy right now of Bill de Blasio when he's trying to convince people to get the COVID shot by giving them free French fries.
Oh, dude.
You mean these fries?
When he's eating,
You mean this popcorn?
You mean these five?
he ate the whole
I can get these
sleeve,
fries?
dude.
My favorite thing about that was Bill de Blasio is trying to convince us that he's I'm an everyday New Yorker, and he has to ask an aide if it's okay to eat a cheeseburger for breakfast. I'm like, dude, get
So
out.
Is this the thing that the poor people eat?
So can I eat
Is
this?
this what they enjoy?
Hamburgers? Okay, sure. Love it.
Is this cheese? Is this real cheese that's in the burger?
You talking about these fries? Dude, Bill de Blasio is probably a popcorn chomper, absolutely, right? Like he's in there just
dude.
he's trying. He doesn't know how
dude.
to really eat popcorn, so he's like emulating when he sees other people, and he's just like, yeah, right, extra salt.
He's all, it's great, right?
It's great.
We really it's good.
They voted me out. This is how you eat, right? Yeah. I saw a video today of Mitt Romney, just to be middle of the road here. I saw a video today. It was National Hot Dog Day, and Mitt Romney did a video where he was talking about how much he loved hot dogs, but he was holding the hot dog like nobody holds a hot dog when you eat it, while trying to convince us that he's like an everyday Joe. He's like, I love hot dogs. Here's a hot dog.
He's
And
like
it's just
palming it, dude.
Yeah. Like, dude, your Mormon ass has never had a...
He's palming it, like licking the ketchup off it. He's all, he's all, this is really good.
He bites from the center. He's all,
Dude, he literally says in the video, I encourage everybody to go watch it. He literally says in the video, he's all, everybody, hot dogs are my favorite meat. And everybody just ate him alive in the actual...
I mean, I'm with him on that one.
Oh, so good. So good. Love
So what is a hot dog? I mean, do they take these from real hot dogs?
Now, when they find the dogs, are they hot or they have to heat them up? No,
Well,
Mitt.
definitely they heat them up.
No,
Dane or
Mitt,
Dane?
they don't have to heat them up.
They are
come
lizard
hot.
people.
Hey, Vince, I this is kind of like you weren't planning on this. If we played that video, would your computer melt?
It'd probably melt, but let me see. That's a good way to.
Let's try it out.
If it
And if
if
we
it drops, the
explode-
show's over.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll depart now.
Seems-
We'll say thanks for coming in.
Mitt
Just in case
Romney
Vince's computer
eating a
failed.
hot dog,
Kimster Kiss says, I would rather have a chomper than sit next to a smelly person.
eating a corn dog or a hot dog.
Yeah, kind of rough.
I think, and I really think, Kimster, that all of these people are kind of in the same category. It's like if you're crazy enough to chomp, you're crazy enough to talk out loud during a movie, and you're also crazy enough to smell. So
Although, like, smelling, I feel like you can like control less potentially. I mean, maybe it's like put some deodorant on. Maybe they didn't do that, but at least they're probably like just less self-aware people.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. All of these people we're describing, that's all self.
I mean, that's true.
if you're chomping, you're not aware.
Daner Dink's got a link there. Did you find the video?
Do you find it? Because I
Oh,
have it
yeah,
coming up
boy.
right now.
Oh, he got the De Blasio. Okay, we gotta
Oh,
play
this is my favorite.
we gotta play this first, dude.
This is my favorite of
It's so
anything
good.
of the COVID era. This is my favorite politician video. It's
All right.
it's the greatest thing, and we should really do a. We're gonna go a little long tonight because we really got to break this video down and
we
compare.
didn't
it to
know
Mitt.
we were going down a Bill De Blasio rabbit hole.
No, I mean, this isn't gonna get us views, but who cares?
All right, hold on.
said I could have these
wasn't
fries?
ready for this.
You tell me I can have these fries? Yeah. Cool. What do I have to do to get them? And why wouldn't I just pay $1.25 for them?
So all I have to do is get a needle in my arm, and then I get these fries.
These fries.
That's how he phrased it.
What if I want fries from Chick-fil-A? Well, no, that's not part of the deal. It's only from Shake Shack.
All right, here we go. First, we have. I don't think we're gonna have any sound on this. Well, you guys won't, but the stream will.
Oh, well, then we can't do anything with that.
We
then.
can't do anything with that. But this, at least we'll be able to see Mitt Romney eating.
It'll be on the stream.
That's
Audio
not,
will be on the stream.
that's not the one that I'm talking about. He was like in a government building.
Oh, this one is my favorite meat is hot dog.
So
Well, that might be
this
a
is
different
National
one
Hot
then.
Dog
He's done
Day.
it multiple
and
times.
as you know, hot dog is my favorite meat, and I have a good one here, sliced in half with some pickles, onions, and ketchup, which is the way I prefer it. So enjoy a hot dog.
That guy's never had a hot dog in his life.
Why is he wearing camo too? It's like
As
I
you
couldn't
all
hear it,
know,
but he's like just like he's
hot
like
dogs are my favorite
holding
meat.
it up and inspecting it as if it's like a specimen, dude. It worked. It worked for the chat. So
all right,
that's
they got it. All right,
chat
all
got
right.
to hear it.
All right, here we go.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, we need to figure
okay,
out-
so yeah, Daner Dane put up the link to the other one, the Bill de Blasio one.
All right,
so
here
we
it
can
is.
play that one too.
I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's
dude, we
also,
got to work on our presentation
burger
because now we're
element to this?
we got a YouTube window up.
Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be breakfast? Okay. I want you to look at this and think about.
Dude, look at the dude
Again,
doing sign language in the corner. He's
some
being a
people love
total
burgers, some
smartass
don't.
about it.
I really want to respect all.
Oh, yeah,
those
yeah,
alike,
I'm
but
sure. I know what
if
fries
this
are.
is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
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 This aged well.
I'm getting a very good feeling.
Dude, you finish
About
that damn
vaccination
burger.
rates.
Yeah, and it's
Coward.
like, and he was like, he takes the smallest tiny bite that's like not even meat. It's like just like part of the bun, dude. And he's just like, I ate it, and he like puts it down. It's like,
Yeah, and he's got the
you
look
can't
of
have one actual bite, dude.
he's got the look of a person that takes a bite of something and then they have to like, yeah, I totally love this. I do this all the time.
The sign language
Oh,
person's
man.
doing that. He's
That
all,
was good.
Good times. Well,
just an
go
animal.
to Mitt Romney's
know.
Instagram, all those people in chat, and check out his video from today. It's a real hoot, man.
I don't know if vegans got pissed about it. That's a good point, though. They didn't even consider that. It's like maybe they should have at least picked something that like wouldn't. I don't know.
Can
Wouldn't
we?
piss people
I have a
off.
question. Can we start bringing?
The vegans were too focused and stoked on the fact that they get fries. I think that's
I think he was trying to be like all American by picking a hamburger.
yeah. I'm as American as baseball and what's the other American pat? Hamburgers. Yeah. Peanut butter.
My favorite meat. Can we bring
All right,
in
guys,
each
well,
I guess
week-
we'll end on that.
We'll end on that. We'll end on. It's always good to end on Bill de Blasio and Mitt Romney. I feel like we're we're staying middle of the road on this one, so that's good. We pick on both sides. So, yeah, thanks
There's
everyone.
greatness on both sides. There's enough for everybody.
A lot of failed presidential candidates on both sides. So yeah, thanks for coming in. It was fun. Thanks as always to our friends in the chat for coming in and making the show better. It was a good time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I gotta subscribe to your channel, Daner Dane. I gotta crash your streams too, man.
Oh, I'd love to crash a Daner Dane stream.
We got God of Thunder 187 too. That's
Nice.
just making his presence known. Oh no, he was here earlier.
yeah. He's
Dude, thanks for being here, man.
his
Appreciate it.
his little emoji there is a guy asleep though. So I don't know if what that means. I don't know what we're communicating there, but we'll take it.
Do you want me to time
All right,
him out?
thanks.
Say that it's so funny that he's dead.
I timed
Dude,
him
that's
out.
a great point. That's encouraging. So yeah, thanks, Whiskey Vince for coming in and whiskeying it out, and thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for listening.
See you later, guys.
Chew us out.
Yeah.
Chew us out.
Still going?
Skipping through the end time.